Am I the butthole for refusing to take down negative school reviews? My son and daughter were relentlessly bullied at their high school and we moved, for that and employment reasons. I wrote some really negative reviews about the school on Google and just about every website you can write reviews about schools on. I wrote the names of the incompetent teachers, faculty and why exactly they are crap and why nobody should send their kids there. Well, the school vice principal contacted me, asking me nicely to take down the reviews. I heard from my friend who has their kid there still that the reviews have actually persuaded some people to send their kids to the Catholic school down the street instead. I told the vice principal to go to hell and F off. He then sent me another letter basically threatening me with legal action, saying it was defamation and such. I responded back with F off and leave me alone. Why don't you stop the bullying issue at your school instead of trying to bully me? Effing dumbasses. If you solved these bullying issues you wouldn't have such bad reviews. Other parents seemed inspired to write negative reviews as well. Well, at the PTO meeting I was mentioned and they said I was a devil ruining their kids' education and such, as an increase in students could result in less funding. I doubt my impact was that drastic, but the PTO seems to think it will be. The vice principal and other school admin have tried contacting my husband doing the same thing, saying he may be more reasonable than me. My husband ignored them. NTA. School has a problem. U points out the problem. School, instead of fixing the problem, they want to sue you. I'm also the kind of person who would edit my review to add in the school's attempts at bullying me to remove my review. Ha. You're my kind of person. Ha. You're my kind of person. Ha. You're my kind of person. Ha. You're kind of my person? Flushed face. Ha. Kind of person you are? Ha. What kind of person are you? Ha. A disappointment. Not to me. Ha. Person kind, what are you? Ha. My kind person, you what? This is Requiem. Then it would be a never-ending chain of you pointing stuff out and them still trying, and if not actually seeing you and failing. Having lost so much money that could have been saved by listening to the feedback. If leaving a review for bullying is defamation for them, what would happen if it gets out that they are bullying original poster for leaving a bad review and threatening to sue? I know stopping bullying is a big mess, but getting so wound up trying to get a review down is a bigger mess. And if they can create a bigger mess, then well, they could have tackled the issue head on. Streisand effect in full force. Original poster needs to name and shame this school here. I was unfamiliar with the term Streisand effect. I learned something new today. Thanks. It's funny because slander and libel are only slander and libel if untrue. If you can prove they are untrue, legally speaking. And prove damages. No damages, no reason to sue. E&L, but I wouldn't think that proving damages would be that difficult. The state gives X amount of dollars to the district per student enrolled. If the district can show Y amount of parents were influenced by ops posts, then damages are XY. Edit, a word. Because they were bluffing when they threw out big legal terms to try scaring the parent. And also, this isn't the first time the administration has heard of the issue, trust me. If the school had a solution, they either were already working on it or didn't care enough to fix it. Defamation means it isn't true though. If they continue to bully her, it's true. Lol, they are proving themselves wrong. And the loud of finding is probably from lawyers' fees as well as attendance loss from some high-scoring kids. Not the butthole. We call this a war of attrition. Original poster has much less to lose by dragging this out for the long haul. I've edited reviews when stores contacted me to edit my review. Why not? Or when they send a public reply saying we have contacted the customer to resolve the situation, and a private one telling you to get stuff to edit, following the reply of person X, I can confirm that the situation remains ongoing as of, insert date, and periodically update. Those public replies always lower my estimation of the company, especially the ones that try to clap back on the person leaving the review. At the very least, I think, oh, you didn't care enough to make your product not terrible, but now you care because there's a review? It depends. If the public reply details the situation and what the company did to resolve the issue and how the customer was the one unwilling to cooperate in solving it, that is one thing. But those copy and paste ones are definitely a negative for the company. Op should add to a copy of the letter from the principal to her posts. Yes. Instead of pressuring original poster to take down the reviews, the administration should encourage people who've had positive experiences to write reviews. Instead, we see that they are themselves adult bullies and probably that no one else can write a positive review for lack of positive experiences. They tried that first, obviously, but had problems finding people with positive experiences to relate. /user commercial law 864 thought you should see this and do the same. Reddit link. Would be really good if you could add in screenshots of the emails they sent you. Yeah, this isn't even we fixed the problem. Could you please stop punishing us for something that was already fixed? This is just plain our actions actually had consequences for us and we want to make it stop. LOL. Defamation? Truth is the ultimate defense against defamation lawsuits. She should update her reviews and mention the school threatening legal action because of her reviews. The school is now the bully. But unlike your children, you have the ability to effectively fight back. Good for you. We don't have a problem with bullies, says the chief bully. Maybe this should be on our /leopard satiny face. Laughing out loud, Reddit link. I'd rather say our /this isn't we're, Reddit link. Schools are like this. All the time. It's actually insane. The school's attempt at scapegoating, blaming and then ultimately sexist arguments at the end really tells the story. The way the school admin rolled right into bullying in response to complaints about bullying tells the story well. Not the butthole. I went to school with a huge bullying problem. It was tiny and everyone shrugged it off. In hindsight, it was bad. I can't believe that those things were allowed to go on. Good on original poster for standing her ground and spreading the word. Sue the school for neglecting the bullying of your kids and for harassing you and your husband. America in a nutshell. NTA for the reviews. You're the butthole for your ridiculously aggressive replies. Responding in such a fashion basically guarantees that they won't actually address the root cause, and it actually gives them ammunition to characterize you as a lunatic disaffected parent rather than someone with legitimate grievance. If this were to go to court, those messages would go against you, and although you'd have a solid case, it would just make things more difficult for your defense. You think any other replies will help? These are the sorts of people who will tell you that you need to feel sorry for the bully because they come from a broken home or similar bullcrap, despite that bully physically assaulting their classmates. The sort who support teachers convincing a 6-year-old that boys never ever cry, even when they are in extreme pain. The sort who put one student's disabilities before another's, with no way to compromise, because the favored student's parents are heavily involved in the school. The sort who, when a student is on a school camp, refuses to allow the student to carry their own medication, and who also refuse to provide that medication when the student asks for it. Oh, and convince that student to stay on the camp, when they are at the early stages of pneumonia, only to have that student go off in an ambulance on their own the next day, with no way to know where the student is. Yeah, all of that was me. And you know what? We tried being nice, it was ignored. We tried pushing hard, and it was ignored. The only way to get this crap fixed is to go hard, and based on what original poster is saying, it seems to be working. Not the butthole original poster, not by a long shot. I completely understand where you're coming from, but I still think it's a fair point that overly aggressive and insulting responses is not good if the school is threatening legal action. Regardless of what actually happened, original poster needs to come across as a rational human in case of a lawsuit. I went to a small private Christian school but transferred out midway through my junior year. Reasoning was due to bad admin and bullying. I initially told everyone off because of a certain incident in my last days, but decided to come back and speak to the headmaster about exactly why I was leaving. I never expected him to make changes, but I was not going to be seen as the crazy bitch who left for no reason. Rational argument is always better than merely insulting rhetoric, even if it won't bring about any real change. The admin is not worth ops time in my opinion, unless they actually try to take legal action. I don't think there should be any further communication between them. Rational argument is always better than merely insulting rhetoric, even if it won't bring about any real change. The admin is not worth ops time in my opinion, unless they actually try to take legal action. I don't think there should be any further communication between them. Things don't change if the school doesn't grow up. Getting punched in the face a couple of times, hopes to make them aware that they really effed up. Also, I hope the school gets defunded and hopefully closed because your kid's mental education is more important than anything. I just think it's ironic that you want to fix bullying with a punch in the face, even metaphorically. Guy probably will think this is overly aggressive. You're right though, schools will do anything but actually fix their issues, that's just the sad reality we're in. Either way, nothing will change, and for me personally, being kind and reasonable when the person does not deserve my kindness is more time consuming and has me putting more effort into things. If they don't care, then I don't care, so I just throw out whatever comes to mind, and if that so happens to be insults and name calling, so be it. I'm sorry you had a rough time in school. We tried being nice, it was ignored. We tried pushing hard, and it was ignored. The only way to get this crap fixed is to go hard. This isn't going hard though. As I said, getting flagrantly abusive towards the school administration actually gives them an easier time of it because it enables them to, between their own staff and to external stakeholders, paint ops family as unreasonable and ridiculous and aggressive. They're able to say things like, well, off the record, look at how his mother was speaking to the principal, for God's sake, do you really think her son wasn't starting crap with other students? And because people don't like being abused, they may even end up believing it. No, to keep them on the hook adequately, the approach would be to leave the claims up. I agreed with that, and, when contacted, ask them to put everything in writing. Then respond in a polite but definitive fashion that you won't be taking the reviews down because they're true. Let the school make threats. For optional additional hilarity, update the reviews to include any threats made by the school. That much better holds the school to account. You think any other replies will help? Yes, a professional letter from a lawyer reminding them that truth is an absolute defense against defamation suits. Remember that this sub isn't about if they're wrong. It's about if they're being a butthole. There's a difference. My vote is for everyone sucks here. F off you effing dumbasses is not an appropriate reply in this kind of communication and only sabotages ops purpose. Still not the butthole, but that's really no way to communicate as an adult. Was looking for this. Of course, NTA for leaving a truthful review about a legitimate problem. But ops am I the butthole question was not about that, but about her response to school officials who contacted her about the reviews. There are good ways of letting people know about a problem, and then there are why ways. Calling someone a effing dumbass may feel good in the moment, but it is virtually never, ever going to lead to any kind of productive conversation or make you look like a reasonable person with a well-informed opinion that other people will want to listen to and take seriously. If it makes you feel good, go for it, but yes, you're the butthole for diluting a legitimate grievance with an unnecessarily aggressive attitude. For diluting a legitimate grievance with an unnecessarily aggressive attitude. An excellent way of expressing what I was going for in half a sentence. And then original poster claims that her kids don't instigate this bullying in any way? I'm finding it hard to believe that this attitude is unique to her within the household. Came here to say this. I get that original poster is upset and frustrated by the school's lack of action to address their legitimate and serious concerns, but I don't think that writing a load of scathing reviews online and then using abusive language towards the VP is the way to effect change. Assuming original poster actually raised their concerns with the school in the first place, there must be official ways of escalating this: school governing body, local education authority, the local paper, lawyers. A school isn't a business, and there are other ways of holding them accountable. Original poster hasn't done themselves any favors. Everyone sucks here. Agreed. I was bullied relentlessly in high school, and the school didn't help. However, I was extremely close with the vice principal, and I know she tried her best, but there's not much she could do. She was great, and I respect her quite a bit. There's no reason to be a butthole to them from the outset. This right here. Being over-the-top aggressive detracts from ops reviews. Threaten legal action if they continue to contact you, but original poster sounds like an unhinged nutbag. Good point. The hostility of the ops responses gives the school some ammunition in claiming she's just an angry person who wants to get them into trouble. Follow the husband's example and say nothing more. It might be worth talking to a lawyer to understand her legal position. Businesses are complaining more about unfair reviews, and it would be helpful to know your position in case the school does want to take legal action. Right? Who responds to someone asking nicely with "F you, go to hell"? An odd does. 100% agree. I'm a teacher, and if original poster had kept a cool head and responded in a civilized manner, then the school would have been far more willing to hear original poster out and deal with issues that original poster voiced. Her response helped no one, and her messages only served to make her look hostile and unreasonable, and given that original poster commented that her son was in a physical altercation with another student and that her kids were given nicknames associated with racists, I'd say that coming across as aggressive isn't in OP's best interests. I truly agree with this. This is entirely accurate. Original poster doesn't sound on like a bully themselves in a certain way. Completely agree. There's a much better way to handle yourself, and why would you continue to engage with them? A simple "I wrote what I wrote for a reason, and I will leave it there." Have your lawyers contact mine if you would like to escalate. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.